Good morning, everyone. Welcome back into the Non-Blonde Cafe with Stephanie this morning. I am very pumped about my next guest, John Lydon. He's an icon. Do you remember Johnny Rotten? Yes, former lead singer and lyricist of the Sex Pistols. Good morning, John.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, just fine. Where are you calling us from this morning?
I'm calling from Los Angeles. I moved to California years ago. I became an American citizen. I'm very proud to call myself a member of the US of A.
That's right. Couldn't find a better place, too. L.A., huh?
Yeah, well, I've traveled the world because that's what music's done for me, but I just love America, and that's it. I'm proud to say I am an American.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, you know, you and I are both in the music industry, and music is probably one of my number one passions in life. Tell us, bring us back to the 70s when you kicked it all off.
Well, it began with an I Hate Pink Floyd T-shirt. I was spotted around the fashionable side of London in that, and to the attention of first Bernie Rhodes, who ended up being the Clash's manager, and he passed the information on about me to Malcolm and the boys, and I went for an audition and instantly became the lead singer of the Sex Pistols. Now, I hadn't sung a note up to that point.
Really?
Because, well, you have to bear in mind that I went through Catholic schools, and I've known about that kind of situation all my life. It's kind of not fair that it's only now, of recent times, unraveling.
Uh-huh.
The Catholic Church has done me no favours, not ever, particularly when I was young. They tortured me at 5 because I could read and write, but not necessarily that, but I was left-handed, which the nuns who run the school considered a sign of the devil and made it absolutely clear that they would not tolerate me. So being quiet for a couple of years there was my modus operandi, the only way I could survive. And then I contacted meningitis at 7. That put me in a coma for a few months. I spent a year in hospital with it. Wow. But when I came out of the coma, I'd completely lost my memory. I had no idea who I was. I could neither walk nor talk, and did not recognize my own parents or brothers or anything at all.
Wow.
Felt completely isolated in the world and felt unattached, unloved, unwanted. It took something like 4 years for that to fully come back, the memory. Now, the book's called Anger is an Energy because this is something the doctors recommended to my mum and dad when they took me home at 8. Was that not to mollycoddle me, not to make me feel happy or contented,
right,
not knowing who I was, but to keep me angry. I mean, you've got to bear in mind that I couldn't even really use a spoon, a knife, a fork, nothing. I was gaga. And that passive-aggressive thing really spurred my memory. And so things would come back in tiny little pieces of shrapnel that would hurt like mad because you knew they were attached to a bigger picture. Slowly but surely I found out who I was. And by my mum and dad not lying to me, everything became very clear. So anger is an energy, and it's an energy that I have used and thrived on ever since. I don't equate anger with violence. I equate it with learning, recovery, advancement, and integrity.
Well, when you first broke out with the Sex Pistols, you were kind of the alternative. You were pretty much, the other side of the coin, so to speak, and rebellious. And I mean, I loved it. Is that how you think you fed through that, was with your anger, and you were trying to, anarchy in the UK and God Save the Queen, all that?
I was trying to tell the truth in a country that didn't want to hear it.
Uh-huh.
And you could call those tough times, and indeed they were, but I mean, from my childhood illnesses, they were nothing in comparison. So I was fully prepared and able to take, come what may, thrown my way. I mean, it seems ridiculous that to just stand up and have an opinion on a subject, you can find yourself discussed in the Houses of Parliament under the Traitors and Treasons Act. And this is what I faced,
Wow.
my early youth. And that, by the way, even discussing that carried a death penalty.
Wow.
If they voted against me on that. But I enjoyed that because that meant that the powers that be that was stifling all of us had to realise that they weren't a democracy after all if they were going to ban me outright from having an opinion. And all of this while I'm 17 and 18. Fantastic, right. Huh?
And you think that's why you had such a huge following during that time is because you were speaking for the people?
I always will do. What I did when the management was problems with the Pistols, I miss Malcolm's Space on Earth and all of that. That's very true. But he brought in too much media hype into it, and I decided when the band broke up to never, ever, ever indulge in that angle ever again. You see, the paparazzi, really, as we know them today, grew up almost with the Sex Pistols. They fed off us. We led the charge, and they were more than happy to be our baby. But what a bad baby they turned into being. And so I walked away from that aspect of life and formed Public Image Limited, a band where I get more insightful about myself and everything else.
Right.
And it's been by far the happier journey. But I've got to tell you that I in no way at all view the Sex Pistols part of my life negatively. In fact, without it, I don't know, but I needed it. It was very, very excellent, and probably the best boot camp anyone could ever ask to attend.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what are you doing right now? I know you're promoting your book, Anger is an Energy, My Life Uncensored. Awesome book. Tell us, how did you say, okay, John, it's time to put it in words? What brought you to writing the book?
Fed up, really, of people overanalyzing me and not really fully understanding what it is I am about and what I come from and what I could possibly be. Sooner or later in your life, you have to, declare what I kept very well secret about the meningitis and all of that. And all them childhood illnesses. The rotten stare is because it takes a long time for me to focus. One of the offshoots of meningitis was it affected my eyesight very, very severely. So I have to strain to focus.
Oh, wow.
Right? I've got a hunchback. I can't help that. That was from the lumbar punch injections where they were drawing fluid from the spine.
Wow.
And that curved my spine. So I can't stand up fully straight because it makes me dizzy. I'll pass out if I do because the curve of the spine won't allow that. So these are not acts. It's not like an acquired taste. It's like, unfortunately, that's the conditions that occurred.
And that's it. Well, John,
you want to make that out to be showbiz trickery? All well and fine. The point being, I'm not the world's handsomest fella, but I am somewhat likable, hopefully, maybe.
I do believe you are. I am very moved this morning to have...
it is. I've been given this gift of being on stage, and I could never let the memory of my mother and father or my family or my friends down. I have to tell it like it is. I can't present a lie to the world. When I was young and had no memory, I was desperate to believe what anybody said to me was the truth. Absolutely desperate for it and wanted to believe and then find out that was the truth. I mean, I can't lie to anybody, not ever again. I've been lied to in that period and I know the pain that caused me. I never want to inflict that on another human being.
Well, when you don't lie about something, you don't have anything to worry about, right?
It's kind of like it does work that way. But not always, because sometimes the truth can hurt.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That is true.
I'm not stupid either. I mean, I do believe in secrets. I think they're an essential part of our personalities.
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
don't be an open book to your enemy.
Yes. John, I am so thrilled to have talked to you today. This is just like very, very iconic for me. And I thank you for being on the show. And if you ever want to call back, you feel free to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and good luck with your book.
Yeah, well, I advise people to read it and take from it the knowledge that self-pity will get you nowhere.
Amen. Thanks for being here this morning, John. I appreciate it.